If you think there's going to be a market crash in late 2023 or 2024, I think you're wrong. But don't listen to me, listen to the facts. I don't have a crystal ball, but I have some information from some really smart people, smarter than I am, and I'm looking through that, diving in, and I am trying to come up if I see any correlations with the last market collapse and what's happening now. So let's dive in. Top housing economists say there's 5 reasons that they don't think we're going to see a market crash. Number 1, low inventory. There's not enough inventory, not near like they were last time. We still have a seller's market in majority of the country. Number 2, lack of new construction. We are millions of homes underbuilt in the United States, so unless they start building more homes, we're still going to be underbuilt. Number 3, there are large amounts of new buyers rushing into the market, and they want to buy. They do not want to be continued renting. They want to buy. They just need a perfect house, perfect interest rates, and a perfect time to make it happen. Number 4, strict housing standards. After the 2008 crisis, lending got really strict, and they're not giving away loans to people who don't qualify anymore. So the people who get loans are people who can qualify. They make the money, they have the debt to income, they qualify. Unlike in 2008, a lot of the buyers didn't. And number 5, there's a lot less foreclosures. It takes foreclosures for a market crash. So let's get into some statistics. Let's not take my advice. Let's not take their information. Let's just look at some statistics. And we're going to start off with looking at local statistics. In my area, in Coweta County, there are 527 homes listed for sale on the market. We've had 175 close in the last 30 days. That puts us at 3 months worth of inventory. That puts us in a prime seller's market. A seller's market means there's less inventory and there's more buyers, and sellers have more opportunity to get maximum price. We've been in a seller's market for years, and we're still in one now. We're seeing homes sell at 98.5% of list price. If we round up, that's 99% of list price, and this is taking in all price points, all the way from 0 into the 2 millions. The highest sell price is in the 150s to 175,000. That is selling for 130% of list price. That's crazy. We don't find a lot of those houses in this area, but the ones that are, they're going way above list price. Now, if we look from about 800 to 2 million, that one's going down to 93.5% of list price. And that's a bigger gap to negotiate from. So it makes sense, and it lands right at 98.5 and 99%. The market has slowed down. The analogy I like to use with my clients is we were doing 90 mile an hour in a school zone, which is highly illegal and it's fast. Right now, we're doing 60 mile an hour in a school zone. It's still really fast and illegal, but it's slower than it was when we were doing 90. So even though we're still speeding, it's just slower than it was. So I feel like that perspective is on a lot of people's minds, and they're seeing the slowdown and they think it's a slowdown overall. So we're still going fast, it's just slower than normal. One of the most realistic signs of a housing crisis and a housing crash happening are foreclosures. And we're not seeing near the foreclosures we saw this time during the last recession, during the last big 08 housing crisis. When people are unable to pay their mortgages, that's when we start seeing the issues all over the economy, not just in housing. During the 08 recession, they were 805% more foreclosures happening than they are right now. That is significant. And right now, 38% of all homeowners are completely debt-free, no mortgage, and this is impressive. And I think a lot of this stems from people coming out of 08, losing a lot of what they had, losing their 401k. And I think it scared a lot of people, and they doubled down, they paid their mortgage, they were able to tie down a low interest rate, and they doubled down and got those interest rates, or got the mortgage paid down. I think that's incredibly impressive, and I would like to be there one day. And 60% of people who do have mortgages are less than 4%. Those are people who have bought and refinanced a couple years back, and they were able to lock down the 4% interest rate. So that tells me a few things. Lower interest rates, lower payment, easy to pay. That's one. But also, it was before the appreciation and the inflation really happened. So that tells me these guys have equity. And if they have equity, they have means to pay the mortgages if they were to get behind, or if things were to get hard for them, because they could refinance, they could do HELOCs, they could sell their property. As long as there's equity, they have a lot of options. inflation stinks, but homeowners are still able to make their payments. No matter how high inflation is right now, we're able to deal with it. I believe the banks learned a valuable lesson during the '08 crisis. They took on all these properties and foreclosed on, and they were managing them. Managing them is not what the bank does. The bank did not like that. They didn't like to have to hire people to service the properties, to manage, to maintain. All this is not what banks do. Banks lend money. They do not want to be in the management business. So I think if it was to ever happen again, we start seeing a lot of these foreclosures, a lot of these buyers get in default, I think we're going to see the banks work with the people in default a lot more because they don't want to end up managing a bunch of properties again. The best advice you're going to receive are interest rates are going to go down, and when they do, prices are going to come up. Buy now and refinance later, and thank me later. Don't forget to subscribe. Who you work with matters, and have a great day.